This day, I don't understand, and I don't think there is many people that actually understand why that mill shut down. It was not because they said it's because we don't have fiber. They call it fiber, that's
Right,
chips
okay,
and,
sure.
and wood.
Wood fiber, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't because of that, because I sit here and watch fiber going down the street here, day after day,
Right.
and it, they said it was because of the high cost of operation, but it was one of the most modern mills on the coast at that time, because as I say, the Chinese came to study it, the French people came to study it, and I know Gordon because I toured them in the mill.
Yeah, sure.
They'd come and they'd dump these guys,
Yeah.
engineers and
Yeah.
people come from other countries
Yeah. Yeah.
came to study an example of North American industry.
Yeah.
The Dutch, the Scandinavians. Half of the Scandinavians were smart. They were a little ahead of a lot of countries. They still are. A lot of pulp and paper industry machinery is developed and made in Scandinavia. I know because we had a whole paper machine out here.
Sure,
and
sure.
I had to translate from Finlandish language.
Yeah. It's like
Because-
Volvo and logging, and of
Yeah.
course they're into logging and forestry in Scandinavia,
But-
of course.
But all of a sudden, a company would buy it, and it would change. It was started by Crown Zellerback from an American
Oh, exactly.
company.
Yeah, I
They
remember
built
that.
this, and they had economic hard times in the States, so they pulled in their tentacles and they sold the mill for
Right.
a thong. Some company from was Scandinavia bought it first. Then a company from New Zealand and Australia bought it, and then a consortium of operators from New York City came and bought it from them. So it was sold. It was sold 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times. I forget each instance in my tenure out there. Each time the company would buy it, and it's just like buying property and selling it. It wasn't because they wanted to make jobs for their employees or they wanted to make paper. They made more money in buying and selling the commodity was
company.
the mill.
Yeah, exactly.
They started to break it up. It was a consortium of mill. We had a sawmill, we had a kraft mill, we had a paper machine, we had kraft paper, we had raw pulp, and all these things were contributing one on the other as a core industry. You can see how one would support the other. They buy the logs, the best went here, the other went there, the bark went to make power, but they come out and they decide, oh, we'll sell off the sawmill, we'll sell off the kraft mill, and they built a fence between. Now they had to have a maintenance team to maintain that side and another maintenance team to maintain this side. It was stupid because now they got twice the operating cost to run half the
Yeah,
dump.
yeah.
And so on and ad infinitum it went. And then they said all of a sudden it had to be, the catchword was globally competitive, because
Right,
now mills throughout the world were competing for a paper market. Then your computers started to tick in, and people they were saying, well now, and I guess it has happened that newspapers or the media is competing with the internet and
Sure.
and the whole world
Digital journalism and
is
citizenship
collapsing
journalism.
the hard copy world,
That's right.
which is still with us and it always will be.
Yeah, and selling
Well,
ads because,
Yeah, but
people, they can see so much news online rather than paying for the
And so-
newspaper.
unless you could get a niche like fine paper, drawing paper, writing paper, but the mainstay was newsprint, just the pulp, make the newsprint. And these print companies, they would squeeze the paper mill companies for better quality newsprint, so their presses would run without breaking. But when the push come to shove, if the price was too high, they bought it from someplace else, the quality wasn't as much,
Right.
because they had to pay for quality.
Yeah, sure.
So it just became a dinosaur, and I couldn't understand the complexity of that mill, and the money, it was a force unto itself almost, like how it collapsed is I still don't totally understand. It was partly economics, but to a great extent it was management, you know.
Sure.
And of course, the management points the finger at the guy, the laborer, or was not the laborer,
No.
because they were very efficient and very good at what they did. After a while, you get a guy making pulp for 35 years. He gets pretty good at what he does, you know.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's
Yeah,
the way things go.
yeah. That's real interesting.
I thought something interesting the other. You shut your machine off for a